Okay, a baked potato, just a simple baked potato. There are so many ways you can mess this up. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to make the perfect baked potato. Restaurant quality, it's going to have a nice crust on the outside, it's going to be salted just right, but more importantly, it's going to be moist and tender on the inside, and it's not going to be dried out, because there's one thing that I found in almost every single recipe that almost every single chef does, and it makes no sense to me, and we're not going to do it. And if you don't do it, you'll come out with a better potato than you could ever imagine. And it could be the problem you're having right now and why they don't taste good. So let's first talk about potatoes. This is a russet potato. This is the preferred potato that people use. Now, why do they prefer this potato? Well, because it has a lot of starch on the inside. Now, I've used these for breakfasts, for hash browns, for home fries, but you have to rinse them first because they have so much starch. But that works in your favor when you're making baked potatoes, because that's what gives it that nice, moist, soft interior. And we're gonna butter it up and we're gonna season it just right. And this is gonna be the best restaurant quality potato you've ever eaten. In addition to that, I'm gonna do something that nobody else does. I'm gonna do a two-stage cooking process. We don't just cook it once, we cook it twice, but we do it for different reasons to get the best crust on the potato. When you're done, you can top this any way you want, but please, please, please do not get out any aluminum foil. Don't wrap this in aluminum foil. Don't wrap it in plastic, and oh my God, don't put it in your microwave. A microwave does not belong with baked potatoes. That's why they call it baked potatoes. They don't call it microwave potatoes. And you'll sometimes find these pre-wrapped.
Read my lips. No.
In the grocery store with plastic around them so you can pop them in the microwave. I would just throw them away. You don't want to eat those. Let's get going. Okay, the first thing you want to do is wash your potatoes. These will come dirty. And the reason they come dirty is that if they wash these potatoes at the factory, what's going to happen is they will have a much shorter shelf life. So you got to wash them. So that's what we're going to do. You can just scrub them with your hands. That will probably get it clean enough. If you have any extra dirt, you can use a brush. I never do. A little dirt's not bad for you anyhow, right? It's not going to hurt you. All right. Got them nice and clean. We're going to let them dry off, and then we're ready to go. We're going to set our oven to 400. And every oven's different, so you may want to check yours. I've done this in my oven, so I know it's going to be just right. So it's really important that you dry off your potatoes, get them nice and dry. It only takes you a second, just wipe it off with a paper towel. Now, it's at this stage that most cooks will tell you to put some type of oil on the outside of these potatoes, maybe salt them up. We're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a rack and put it in a pan just like this and cover it in foil. Now, you can actually, and I did it for years, just put those potatoes on the rack in the oven. The problem is, if they do leak, if salt falls out or something, it's going to end up in the bottom of your oven. So there's your rack. We're just going to take those potatoes, we'll put them on the rack just like that. Keeps your oven clean. Very simple to do. Keep in mind, I haven't done anything to these potatoes. I also have not put any holes in these potatoes. About 100% of the videos you're going to find on how to cook baked potatoes tell you to take a fork and to actually attack the potato with a fork. I'm not doing it. Now, the reason they tell me that you're supposed to poke holes all over this potato is to let the moisture out. Now, I don't know about you, but when you're cooking something, do you want to let moisture out of your food? I don't. But they say you have to do it, because if you don't do it, this potato could explode like a bomb in your oven and ruin everything. I've been doing this for about 35 years, and I've never had a potato explode. So based on that, let's say they explode every 40 years. Okay, let's say that's the number that we're looking at. Would you want to eat 40 years of dry potatoes on the off chance that maybe one's going to explode? I know I don't, so we're not poking holes in our potatoes. Okay, our oven's ready. Let's get our potatoes in. All right, let's pop those potatoes in. And we're going to cook these in 2 stages. The first stage is going to be 35 minutes. And then we're going to do something that's going to make that skin perfect. The first thing we're going to do is lay down a wet paper towel for our cutting board. If you do that, things don't slide. I like a little bit of green onion in mine, so we're going to cut off the end there and here. And if you want it to taste really good, cut it at an angle. That always makes it taste better. Now guys, with your recipes, if it's not coming out like a restaurant and you've tried this over and over again, the first thing to check is what? Your ingredients. Are you using good ingredients? If you use good ingredients, like most high-end restaurants do that are making these baked potatoes, then you're going to have a good product. I like this butter right here. This butter here is Kirkland. It's grass-fed. It's a New Zealand butter. It's amazing. It's really good butter. This doesn't cost you much more than the really cheapest brand that has no flavor whatsoever. Use good quality ingredients. Okay, they've been cooking for 35 minutes. We're going to take them out and do the next stage. Okay, now's when we're going to get that crispy exterior, and let me show you how. Now you remember, we put these potatoes in there, and now they're developing like a kind of tough skin. We didn't put any holes in it, so all the moisture is still in there. We're going to put them in here and put a little bit of olive oil on it. So we want to get that skin well coated. So we can just kind of turn them around in here. Try to get all the spots coated, because the next stage is where we're going to get that nice crust, and we need that oil on there. Morton's kosher salt. You got to have this. We're going to put this on the potatoes now. We're going to just kind of toss them in that Morton's salt. And it's going to stick because of that oil I just put on there. And I use some extra virgin olive oil. We're going to get them nice and coated. And I know it looks like a lot of salt. A lot of this is going to fall off. And it's going to season the inside of the potato too. So there we go. Now we're going to put them back on the baking sheet, and this is going to be the second stage. This is how you're going to get that crispy skin. Now we'll place these back in the oven for about another 25-30 minutes. Back in they go. Get our timer set. In another 30 minutes, they'll be just perfect. And you can keep these warm too if you got something else going on. I got a steak I got to put on the grill. I get it. You can keep them warm. Many restaurants do this. Okay, so we're looking for an internal temperature of that baked potato from 190 to 210. It doesn't have to be precise. Let's see where we're at. Okay, we're at 209. Since we're there, we're going to turn off our oven and we're going to set it to warm. A lot of people on YouTube are going to tell you got to eat it immediately when it comes out of the oven. And they're probably right, because they poked a bunch of holes in their potatoes and they're going to get dry. If you do it this way, you don't have to worry about it and you can keep them warm. It's exactly what restaurants do. Imagine if they had to cook a potato and it took them an hour for every person. I don't think you'd be too happy with that. Okay guys, the finished product, that baked potato, nice crunchy skin, ready to go. Might as well go ahead and get it fixed up. I like to cut it down the middle, not all the way down though, just about halfway. Then get a towel so you don't burn your hands. Give it a squeeze like that. Oh yeah, look at that. Just a little bit of butter. Remember all those nice little pieces we cut? You can tuck those inside your mashed potatoes. See how it's nice and moist? Because we didn't punch a whole bunch of holes in it. Why do people do that? Makes no sense to me. So I'm going to tuck all that in there. Maybe a couple more, what the heck. Oh, one fell off. I have to stick that one in there, of course, because it fell. And then we're going to sprinkle some of this bacon on there. A little bit of onions. And I think we've got a finished product. What do you think? Okay, now for the fun part, the taste test. I want to get me a little bit of this potato and I want to get a little bit of that bacon. And let's see what it tastes like. It's moist. It's buttery. It's moist because I didn't poke a whole lot of holes in it. You guys, stop doing that. Tell everybody stop doing that. Just cook it properly. Okay, and the part I like the best is the skin. Let me get a little bit of that. Nice and crunchy. The really good part, the skin. It's good. Hey guys, if you like this recipe, do me a favor and like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I do a new video. Thanks so much for watching this. If you've got an idea for a video or a restaurant that has a really cool recipe, put it in the comments section below. I'll see you in the next video.